What's going on, my creative collective? This is day one of A Course in Creativity. Welcome. We're going to dive in. We're first going to start with the workbook lesson and then kind of talk through it a little bit. Okay. So, the workbook lesson number one from A Course in Miracles is nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. Doozy. It's a doozy. I'll read it again. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. Wowza. It's a doozy, right? It's a big one. So you don't have to apply this lesson to anything in particular. There's no specific requirements you should, there's no shoulds or oughts about it. Just apply it around you, right? I don't know what this camera is for. I don't know what it means. It doesn't mean anything. This microphone doesn't mean anything. The light that's right on this side here means nothing. I don't know. Nothing in this room means anything. It'll send the ego for a trip, and it might make some heads explode along the way for folks who aren't understanding the sort of long goal and the long take of A Course in Miracles. But it's one of the most beautiful cognitive dives, right? Nothing means anything. Nothing means anything. So I think about this. This is skipping stones into a black hole. This is the lesson for A Course in Creativity, skipping stones into a black hole. Why? Because it's almost like we're sitting on the edge of the universe looking at the collapse of all these ideas that we have about the world around us. Nothing that we see means anything. Nothing means a thing. There's so much freedom in that. Do you feel the liberation in that? It is wonderful. This is really the beginning of our liberation. This is also the beginning of freedom from constructs that would have us believe that we need specific things or people or situations. It changes our context fundamentally, and it takes a look and explores and sort of stretches out the ways that the ego enters into our reality. Nothing I see means anything. So what you see around and perceive to be reality is really just the templates that you've inherited. Usually, it's the stuff that surrounds you. So here's a question for you. So who decided what it all means, right? Who decided? Who did you let decide what it means? And who are you? Who are you in an orbit around this meaning, right? Do this deep dive because creatively speaking, this frees you up completely. This is a great way to bust through creative blocks. I found this to be so useful, and to say, I have no idea what this means. I have no clue. Right? This isn't abdicating responsibility. This isn't stepping outside of your life. This is stepping fully into it and understanding everything that we see means nothing. It means as much as we give to it. So you can unlearn what you know about the world. But the other thing to know here is that everything that you are aware of and that you know of, anything that means anything, everything that means anything, is the result of the relationships that we've built in our lives that construct that meaning collectively, right? That constructs that meaning collectively, meaning that the meaning. So in other words, we have meanings for things in our lives. Things in our lives mean something to us. They take on a definition that we give to it, but that definition is built upon our experiences with others and relationship that we build and engage in with others. So nothing you've created, even as an artist, nothing you've created means anything. Do you know how freeing that is? Because every photo that I've taken, which is probably over 800,000 now. I know in 1 year I did the math and it was about 100,000 photos in a year, which is excessive, but it is what it is, right? But it's this idea that the photos that we take, what are we taking photos of? It means nothing. What are we writing about? It means nothing, right? This is liberation. This is true liberation, because then it means that you can operate outside of the templates that have been handed down to you, that have been passed down to you. And templates also relate to beliefs, right? Beliefs about what you should make and what you should do and how you should be and how writing should go. And that's where we get into this truly innovative poetic forms. That's where you start to get into this idea of abstract art. And this is also things that have no meaning at all, right? this first lesson is, it's sort of baptism by fire, in terms of the the course. It's diving right into it right away. No qualms, no questions. Nothing we see means anything. And when we bring it back to relationships, I wrote this down because it, to me, it meant something. But anyways. The ego would have you believe that there are all of the things around you, that there is meaning in all of the things around you. We've made mythologies of materiality and pantheons out of pain to tell stories about a collective experience that symbolizes oneness or hedges around it, but never quite gets to the core, because we're trying to get there through ego instead of through spirit, instead of through oneness and that consciousness of togetherness, right? We're trying to do it through some other form than spirit, and it just doesn't work, right? So we don't know what we're doing. We have no idea what we're doing, and that's the real gift, because when you don't know what you're doing, you get to bask in the infinitude of where you are without owing anything, without needing to know anything. You being where you are is sufficient. It's enough. Right? So here are some more questions for you. Does everyone have to agree with you on the reality that you see for it to have a kind of meaning? Right? Does everyone have to agree upon it? Is that how we make collective meaning? How is this meaning made? Whose voices are we investing in more than others? Are we investing in our own? How does that factor into it, right? So do you require other people's approval of the meaning that you've made? And even the things that you make, the creative stuff that gets put onto canvases, onto paper, into song, do you require their approval of the meaning you've made in order for you to believe it's true? Think about it, right? What if you replaced that longing for connection? And this is where we make meaning from, right? We make meaning to feel connected, that sense of meaningfulness. But in the end, nothing means anything. And I might lose some people here, but trust me, this workbook goes way deeper. What we're doing right now, we're skipping stones into a black hole. We're skipping stones into a black hole. So this neutrality, the neutral ground from which we must begin the course, this neutral ground from that in a way becomes sacred because it has no meaning. It is not a void. It is really and truly the beginning of our freedom and liberation from the templates that we've been given by others. So meaning only comes to matter, it comes to be when a bunch of people get together and say that it does. But what are you connecting to in the big picture? Where's the spirit? Where's the oneness? Where's that consciousness, that awareness of the field that connects all of us, right? So I'll read the lesson to you again. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. So it encourages you to look around and apply this idea to the things around you, right? I have flowers over here that my lilies, they weren't my stargazer lilies, but the lilies mean nothing. It does not mean anything. Again, this camera doesn't mean anything. These books don't mean anything. This microphone doesn't mean anything. It can be a little bit overwhelming and thinking like, where the hell are we going with this? But trust me, my friends, nothing we see means anything. Skipping stones into a black hole. And this neutral ground is where we begin. So I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's workbook lesson number 2. Take care, though, in the meantime, and have a wonderful day.